Welcome to Wrestling with Snipes. Today we'll be reviewing Friday Night SmackDown for October 18th, 2024. The show kicks off with the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and the Tag Team Champions, Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. Solo says, South Carolina, acknowledge me. You are looking at the present and the future. I'm the man that created a bigger, stronger, better bloodline, and Roman can't do nothing about it. You saw what happened to Jimmy and Roman last week, and then Jimmy went to see Jey, and Jey wanted nothing to do with it. Solo says Roman has to the end of the night to acknowledge me, or these beatdowns will continue. Then out of nowhere, here comes the Intercontinental Champion. Main event, Jey Uso. He comes out to a massive pop. The people are going bananas. Jey gets in the ring and he says, it's been a minute, but I'm not here to fight you. You're my little bro. He says, think about what you're doing to our family. I left, I went to Raw, and I became Intercontinental Champion. He says the Ulafala is earned, not taken. Solo says, are you done wasting my time yet? Stop calling me your little bro. I'm your tribal chief now. But don't worry, Jey, you'll always have a spot in my bloodline. All you have to do is acknowledge me. Then Solo says, are you in or are you out? Jey looks at him and says, if Jacob Fatu keeps looking at me like that, I'm gonna beat his ass. Jacob steps up to Jey, but Solo puts his arm out to stop him. Jey says, next time I see you, things are gonna be a lot different, Oos. Yeet! Next up was a tag team triple threat qualifying match as DIY took on the Street Profits and Pretty Deadly. We see the Street Profits come out and the other two teams are already in the ring. The match begins with Elton from Pretty Deadly slapping Ciampa, then he runs away. Ciampa runs after him, and Dawkins runs into the Pretty Deadly guy with a big shoulder block. Dawkins turns around and he gets hit by a suicide dive by Gargano. Then they stand up and Montez Ford dives to the outside, taking out everybody. We come back from commercial break and we see the Street Profits hitting a super blockbuster on Elton. Then Gargano and Ciampa super kick the other guy from the Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. 1, 2, 3. But who won? Cause both teams are covering a member of Pretty Deadly. DIY and the Street Profits both think they won the match, but ref Jessica Carr says Ciampa was the legal man and advancing to the #1 contender match last week. DIY. Then we come back from commercial break and we see Roman Reigns and Jimmy arriving to the building. As they're walking, they run into the Intercontinental Champion, Jey Uso. Yeet! Jey looks at Roman and goes to walk away, but Roman grabs Jey by the arm. Jey looks at Roman and Roman says, hey, congratulations, I'm proud of you. Then Jey looks at him and says, no yeet, and walks away. Roman looks at Jimmy and says, I told you so. Then we go to Nick Aldis's office and we see Nia Jax on the phone talking with Tiffy, but it's not Tiffy time because she's not at the arena. Nia says, since you're not here, I guess we'll have to cancel that tag team match tonight. Aldis says, oh no, the tag team match will not be canceled. Aldis says to Nia, you better find a partner. Then in come Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Candice says, I overheard you needed a tag team partner for tonight. Aldis says, oh, it's booked. Tonight, Candice, you will team with Nia Jax against Bayley and Naomi. Nia says, you better hold up your end of the bargain or I will end you, and it will take me less than 3 minutes. Oh my. Then in the back we see Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso sitting in the locker room when Roman says if the wise man was here this would already been taken care of. Roman says we're gonna do it my way, and if I have to I will acknowledge Solo. Oh my, what's gonna happen tonight? Then we go to the ring and we see the undisputed champion Cody Rhodes. Cody asks who will be the first ever crown jewel champion. Most men that walk in those locker rooms are terrified of Gunther, but I am not. Then Cody says, look at this crown jewel championship. It is absolutely stunning. When I came back, I wanted the John Cena schedule. Well, I've taken the John Cena schedule and I've added to it. I would like to invite Gunther to SmackDown next week to look him into the face and ask him, hey champ, what do you want to talk about? Then we see a recording of Kevin Owens looking like he is sitting in a vehicle talking about dropping Cody Rhodes in front of his bus at Bad Blood. He says, I can't get past what Randy Orton did to me. I can't believe you picked Cody over me, Randy. I don't know if I'll ever come back to that organization ever again. The next match of the evening is Piper Niven one-on-one with Lash Legend. We do see the tag team champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill sitting front row at ringside for this match. Match starts off with a shoulder block by Piper Niven. Then we see a bicycle kick by Lash Legend followed by a splash in the corner. Then Lash Legend lands a body slam on Piper Niven. Chelsea jumps up on the apron to distract her, but when Chelsea gets down, Jackson throws her into the barricade. Lash Legend then hits a bicycle kick, then picks up Piper Niven on her back showing strength, and she plants Piper Niven into the canvas. 1, 2, 3. Lash Legend is victorious and the tag team champions look impressed. Lash Legend and Jackson look down at the tag team champions. Then we see Randy Orton enter Nick Aldis's office. Orton says, I need to get my hands on Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel. Aldis says, I knew this was coming and I'm sorry, it's just not something I can do right now. Orton says, what do you mean you can't do it right now? I need to get my hands on Kevin Owens. Aldis says, sorry, I can't do it. It's not in my control. It's above me. Orton says, well, I guess I know who I need to talk to, and leaves. Next up, the second qualifying match for the tag team title opportunity next week as A-Town Down Under against Los Garzas and the surprise team, the Motor City Machine Guns. Grayson Waller and Garza team up on Chris Sabin, but Sabin turns the table and hits a crossbody on both guys. Sabin then hits a suicide dive to the outside. We see Los Garzas hitting dual moonsaults from the second rope to the outside. We get the action back in the ring and the Motor City Machine Guns take down Austin Theory and hit a drop kick right to the face. Then the Machine Guns hit a neck breaker into a splash. 1, 2, 3. The Motor City Machine Guns win their debut and advance to the #1 contender tag team title match next week against DIY. We go to the back and we see Andrade and Carmelo Hayes with Byron Saxton. Before either men can get out a word, they immediately get into a brawl. The next contest is a tag team match with Bayley and Naomi against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. First out comes Naomi, then we go to commercial break. When we're back from the break, Bayley and Candice LeRae are already in the ring, and out comes the women's champion, Nia Jax. Nia catches Bayley to begin the match and rams her shoulder into Bayley into the corner multiple times. Jax then runs and rams her butt into Bayley's face. The match continues and sees Naomi hits a leg drop on LeRae. At one point in the match, Naomi is standing on Nia's back as she's hunched over. Oh yeah. We come back from break and we see Bayley hitting a sunset flip, flipping LeRae into the corner. Naomi hits a suicide dive onto Nia Jax, taking out both women. Bayley's on the outside, and as she tries to get into the ring, Indy Hartwell throws her into the ring post, then tosses her into the ring. Candice LeRae hits a moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Candice LeRae and Nia Jax pick up the victory. And then we have reached that time of the evening. Oh, comes the OTC, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Will he acknowledge Solo Sikoa? Roman says, Columbia, South Carolina, maybe for the last time. Acknowledge me. Then out comes Solo without the Bloodline, but you know they aren't far behind. Solo gets in the ring and Roman says, I heard you tell Jey that our bloodline is stronger now. I don't see it. If anything, we're divided and broken. Roman says, I told my father we would fix this. All I want to do is put us back in the promised land. Tell me what I have to do to fix this. Solo laughs and he says, that's an easy fix, Roman. All you gotta do is acknowledge me. Roman says, I acknowledge you. Does that make you feel better? Solo says, no, that's not good enough. I need you to acknowledge me as your tribal chief, or else. Roman gets in his face and says, or else, or what? Solo says, I knew you never changed, and snaps his fingers, and the rest of the bloodline come out dragging Jimmy Uso's body behind them. Then Roman attacks Solo, tossing him out of the ring. The bloodline attack, but Roman clears the ring, taking all members of the bloodline outside. Roman then looks at the Eula Fala and puts it around his neck, but then gets low blowed by Solo Sikoa. Then the Bloodline beat down Roman and Fatu hits an Impaler DDT. There's no Jey Uso coming out for the save. Jimmy Uso is out cold on the outside. Solo hits the Samoan spike on Roman twice. Fatu then places the Ulafala on Solo as they close out SmackDown. Will the Bloodline cost Jey Uso the Intercontinental title Monday night?